Even with all of the games coming out to Xbox Game Pass in 2025 and all the games that are being worked on, we have some more information here about a new game that is looking to start in development, or at least they are looking for a team. We also have a leak of an upcoming Game Pass launch that has stuff that we haven't heard about. None of the first party stuff's in this leak that we do have. So you add that on to what is going to be coming in April and May and everything. It just, Game Pass is getting better and better. We also have some insights here from The Verge and Notepad and Tom Warren. An article locked behind a paywall, but he gives some more interesting thoughts here on what we can expect. Stuff that would be pretty crazy if it happened, specifically with Gears E-Day coming out in 2025. I mean, it'd be nuts if that was another first party game that does drop this year. Assassin's Creed, we know it did get delayed. We kind of know why it did get delayed that extra month into March. And EA is losing big right now, as well as Platinum Games, the director behind Astral Chain, which was a Nintendo Switch game, phenomenal game. He has left, so we'll take a look into what is going on there. But before we continue, if you do like daily gaming news and content, I see a lot of you are watching, aren't subscribed. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. I think it's like 50% or so, and it's been working this week asking people to just hit the subscribe button for the people that have been watching and enjoying the video. So I do appreciate that. But let's jump into it right here, and let's talk about more Xbox news. I mean, Xbox news is taking over, and there's been tons of stuff to go over with games that have been announced, games that are coming out on Game Pass, how they're evolving their ecosystem, the business. This generation, news-wise, has, in my opinion, been dominated here by Xbox, and a lot of it has been positive, even though we do see that Xbox is dead every couple of weeks. I'm sure within the next week or so we'll hear another story as to why Xbox is dying, even after that incredible developer direct that they had the other day. But it looks like they are out here looking for a lead for an unnamed dev team starting next month. So there are more games in the works. They are trying to definitely stay on top of the release schedule. One of the things with 2025 is they have so many games coming out. You have to think, what is coming out next year? I mean, we know there's lots of games in the works, but how are they going to continue with this just huge schedule of releases on a year-to-year basis? With the amount of studios and everything that they do have, they can, but they always have to have things in the works so that there really isn't a year that isn't off here for them. But we have this here, and this was found via an Xbox job post that was spotted online, and it says here that Xbox is looking for an experienced executive producer, production leader to join a game development team. In this senior leadership role, you will lead a game team to their peak performance, health, and well-being. As executive producer and production leader, you're responsible for delivering a quality, commercially successful title, steering the game development teams to deliver polished, high-quality game experiences by ensuring the team has the clarity, energy, and structure needed to be successful. And there is a different range of applicable to specific work locations within the San Francisco Bay Area and the New York City metropolitan area. Now, there's a lot of questions as to exactly what this could be. It says here via translated from Ecstasy saying usually it happens when it's completely new and unannounced studio, or it's one piece of a much bigger project. Another option could be that's an overseer role of some sort. It does sound like, just from reading that, is that it's a new team here that is starting in the very, very early stages of a new game that is being worked on. A game that has been greenlit probably, and they're looking for someone to fill that role, to take it from just the concept phase to getting it into the production phase. So this is obviously a game we're not going to be seeing anytime soon, probably not even this generation, but it's something that's going to be leading up to an announcement down the road in the future. And I'm sure as more information does come out and as more leaks do come out, we will probably hear more about kind of what is happening in the backgrounds, aside from the games that we already know that are coming out. I mean, 2025 is stacked. 2026, I think, will be stacked as well. When you think of games like State of Decay 3 and Blade, and you have Everwild that we still haven't seen anything about, Perfect Dark. Like, there's so many games to come out, and then you have Blizzard and the Activision teams doing their stuff. There's even a studio that was opened up after Xbox had purchased Activision Blizzard, a new studio called Elsewhere Entertainment that we don't even know what they're working on yet. So there's just so many games in the works, and I'm not surprised that they are not stopping here. They're not going to make any room for, I think, a gap in their first party production and output, especially if they are coming what they are becoming, which is a publisher putting their games on every single platform. They need to have continuous stuff out there for people to play and to purchase and have the money roll in to make back all that money they spent on Activision Blizzard and Bethesda and everything else that it costs to run a major company like that. All right, now when it comes to Game Pass, I mean, Game Pass is shaping up to be a phenomenal year, maybe the best ever. The first half is looking insane. I can't wait till June to see what we get offered here for the second half, what the release dates are for the games that are coming out. But we also have a leak here for the February Game Pass announcement. I believe this is probably going to be the first one in February. And these games are great as well. Games that I will definitely be checking out, particularly here Crash Bandicoot 4. But here is what we do see that potentially is coming out here if this does end up happening for Game Pass in the first February announcement. So you have Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Heroes of the Storm, and Madden NFL 25, which, as you know, with EA, all of their games do land on Game Pass at some point. Generally, it's like 6 months after they are released, and with sports games specifically. So if you're not somebody who cares about playing their sports games on day one, you just kind of want to play it at a later date. Maybe you're not trying to be competitive online or anything like that. Just wait. If you have a Game Pass Ultimate subscription, and they will end up launching into Xbox Game Pass. But they got Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, which is a very cool game for Crash. They finally brought the series back. I really hope that this isn't the end of that series and they do make a new one into the entry in the number 5. And this was developed by Toys for Bob, and we know what's going on with that they let them go, and then they're making a partnership with them. Who knows what Toys for Bob is working on? A lot of people are speculating that it is a new Spyro game. Everything that they've hinted at does seem like it is a new Spyro game. And then you have Heroes of the Storm. Now that's already, I believe, a free-to-play game, so it's interesting that they say that is into Game Pass as well. But I wonder if they're going to be adding that in there where you can get like achievements or something. Who knows? But those are the first leaked games for February, and I'm sure there will be more on top of that. Obviously, Avowed is coming as well, as that is going to be a day one game into the service itself. All right, Xbox is not done. You're even close to being done in 2025. It does seem like we've heard so many rumors about games that they are working on that we haven't even heard about yet, like the Oblivion remake. That's all just been leaks and rumors. We saw Gears E-Day announced last year, and it was just a cinematic trailer. You would assume that that game is nowhere near being ready to be released, and that's probably a 2026, maybe 2027 title. But it looks like all of the rumors that are pointing towards that Gears E-Day is actually going to be making its way out this year, which again would be insane if we get a release date for that at the June showcase for 2025. Tom Warren and The Verge put out his Notepad article. This is locked behind a paywall, but nicely summarized here by Hazard Gaming on X about some of the major things to be aware about. Oblivion remake or remaster in the spring. I'm almost positive this one is true and this one is going to be happening just because of all of the rumors. There's so much smoke around this one and they all pretty much seem legitimate. So, and we've seen the leaks from the FTC that they were working on this game. It just makes a lot of sense for this one. Hopefully I'm not wrong with that and I don't have a bunch of egg on my face, but I think this one is absolutely coming. But will it actually be released here in the spring? That is the question. When will they announce this? Will this be a June showcase announcement and then they release it shortly after the event? Gears E-Day. Now this one, targeting 2025 to me is surprising. I did not expect to see this game this year. I'm all for seeing this game this year as Gears is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and seeing that they're going back to the origins and you're getting Marcus and Dom, and that trailer was just so nostalgic from the first Gears of War trailer that they ever put out. I cannot wait to see what the Coalition does with this. This game is going to look phenomenal. It's going to play phenomenal. And if it comes out in 2025, that moves all the way to the top of my list of games that I'm looking forward to this year. So I hope it is. But if it isn't, I'm okay to wait because of everything that Xbox does have. And then this is interesting. Now, I'm not surprised about Clockwork Revolution because when we did first see that trailer, it looked like it was pretty deep in development. They showed gameplay and it looked pretty good. So it looks like we're going to be seeing that at the June showcase. But Contraband, what has happened with this game? This is for an Xbox Global Publishing game, and we saw a trailer for it. We know it's like kind of a online or a co-op, like heist style of game, and then it just went away. And you would have thought by now this game would have been out. Looks like we're going to be getting closer to seeing when this does release at this year's Xbox June showcase. I wonder if this is also a 2025 game. Because again, this has been in development for a while. It was announced a long time ago. So if it does launch this year, you kind of would expect that. But maybe they also take at least one of these and wait until early 2026 to fill in that spot. So pretty crazy here. And it's just, it adds more to the amount of games. It really shows that they have finally hit that stride that they've been talking about here since the launch of the Series X and S as to where they were going to be going with their release schedule. I think as of right now, with everything we're getting in the first half, plus we know we're getting games in the second half, they are surpassing, I think, what a lot of people had expected they would be able to produce in a single year. All right, Assassin's Creed Shadows. We got a lot of stuff about this yesterday or 2 days ago. Game to me looks phenomenal. I'm very excited about it. I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. I will definitely be playing this game. And it's been delayed twice. It got delayed from late last year's release to February this year, and then it got delayed another month into March. And it's a very short delay from February when it was supposed to release to March. So you're wondering, it couldn't have been that big of an issue with it. And now we kind of know what happened here, why they did delay it. And I think this is smart. If they have to delay it again, like a couple of weeks, just to make sure it's 100% polished, I mean, go ahead, but I don't think they will because they've opened pre-orders and everything. But it says here that Assassin's Creed Shadows' second delay was due to complex roofs, the director has revealed. This was during a conversation with IGN. Charles Benoit, the AC Shadows game director, revealed that the month-long delay was mostly about polishing a couple of things in progression and to make the game more engaging and balanced in Japan's super complex roof. So they're just polishing. They want this game to go off with a very, very minimal bugs. Now, one thing that you know is going to happen no matter what is that even if this game is like 98, 99% polished and there's really nothing going on with it at all, people are going to find something wrong with this game and they're going to put those videos online and try to dunk on it as much as they can. That is just inevitable now with this game from all of the stuff that has led up to where it is right now, all the backlash online, obviously culture war side of things. So that's going to happen, but it's very smart to make sure this game comes out as polished as possible. It's a huge game. They're going to miss something. You see it basically with every single game release, but from what we're seeing so far from the previews and the story trailer, I think the game looks very, very good, and I'm excited to jump in. All right, we know Xbox is working with Team Ninja and Platinum Games to bring us Ninja Gaiden, and Platinum Games has made tons of games that I really, really enjoy. One of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch was Astral Chain. Phenomenal game if you haven't checked it out. Very unique, and it looks like the director, Takahisa Taura, has quit Platinum Games, so I don't think we'll be seeing another Astral Chain with the director leaving. And this is also the designer of Nier Automata, looking to have quit Platinum Games. It says here that fans have noticed that Tara has changed his place of work on his Facebook page, swapping Platinum for Mysterious L Game Studio. Now, we don't really know what that means, but according to Japanese company listings, this appears to be a new formation suggesting Tower is either establishing a studio or going freelance. So could be a new studio, which may bring us some more interesting titles, which is always good when you have somebody who's made some great stuff for an established studio going off and doing their own thing. You definitely see some nice games come out of those scenarios. So that could be what's happening, but unfortunate there if we don't see another Astral Chain entry into the series. And finally, EA, we talked about it the other day. FC 25 and Dragon Age Veilguard just didn't do as well as they have expected. And this has had a huge hit on their overall value. It says EA has lost $6 billion in market value following FC 25 and Dragon Age underperformance news. So that isn't surprising. When they put out bad news and they change their future forecast, you're going to see this happen, and then it could bounce back. It probably will if they put out something great. I mean, that doesn't really matter. That's more for people who are buying the stock and everything. But the story here for gaming that I find that's interesting is, again, FC 25 not doing as well, surprising, but Dragon Age the Veilguard and BioWare, because this was one of those games people were looking at as BioWare's last chance to redeem themselves. And a lot of people loved the game. It was very divisive. Some people loved it. They said it was the best game in the Dragon Age series. Then you have people that were just on the complete polar opposite side saying it was one of the worst games that they've made. And a lot of it had to do with the dialogue. And I've talked about this in my previous video. I haven't played the game yet. I'm going to play it myself and judge it, because we are in an era in video games with the online nature of things, with the fact that so many people talk about games and not everyone actually plays the games. They just see one person make a comment about it and then they make their decision off that, or they jump onto the hate parade or the love parade. It's almost impossible to really get the full understanding of how good a game is if you're just looking at the online discourse. Of course, you can go to some trusted reviewers. Like I watch ACG for pretty much every game and I take his opinion seriously, but you have to really hone in on who you trust, because the online Discord never tells the whole story of how good a game is. And Dragon Age Veilguard, I think the online Discord potentially could have affected this game in a negative way. And I can also see if the dialogue is bad, there's no pushback when you're playing as a character. I can see how that could be something that turns people off from it. But I'll end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.